into your live feed because I wanted to share with you some information about bakeware. This is the perfect time of the year to buy bakeware, to buy it as a gift, to treat yourself and buy yourself a new set or upgrade, or even just get a brand new set altogether. So I have comprised an extensive bakeware list, a guide with talking about materials, talking about different pieces that you need, and I'm going to cover all of that here this morning. I'm just going to wait a few minutes, let people join our live stream. For those of you who don't know, I am in Santa Monica in California. It is a gorgeous day outside. It is the perfect balance of sunny and then also like lovely crisp air. So it really could not be nicer. Let me know where you guys are watching from, where you are in the world, where you are in the US. And I know some people are snowed in. I know that some people have very bad storms. So let us know what's going on out there.
Gemma, folks are joining us also from both platforms.
Oh, great. So we are live now on Facebook and on YouTube. So our two communities coming together. You know, it's really fun to do a live, and we thought it'd be a great one to do a few days before Thanksgiving and also heading into the holiday season.
Gemma, Megan's here. Let's see, our friend Monet from South Africa.
Hi, Monet, South Africa.
In last week's video.
Yeah.
Susanna from Texas.
Morning,
Let us know,
everyone.
Where you're here from.
Morning, everyone. Thank you for tuning in on your weekend. You're probably chilling out with a cup of coffee right now, and that is exactly what you should be doing. We are going to talk about bakeware. I did a live stream for those of you who missed it last week about types of bakeware that you would need, like different sizes, the most essential sizes, the limited pieces you actually only do need to make majority of my recipes. And so this week we're talking about materials because unlike, you know, you're led to believe that the only baking material is a baking pan, is a non-stick baking pan or tin. But there is so much more. You can bake in anything, but there are pros and cons to a lot of different materials. And there are a few rules to be followed around them as well. And I'm going to cover this. So it might not seem like that important as a baker because I'm not telling you a recipe, but this is really important because you can bake in any of these pieces of materials that I show you if you just know the few of the simple to-dos and don'ts.
Gemma, folks from everywhere. Marie Dillon from Wexford, your hometown.
Hi, Marie.
That's fantastic.
I don't know if I know Marie, do I?
Byron's joined us.
Byron
Shirky,
Chandler.
All sorts of folks.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. What time is it in Wexford? It is 6 o'clock.
Yeah,
Is
Gemma.
that right? Yeah.
Hey, do you want to also let folks know a little bit about kind of the stay tuned?
So, well, let me just tell you, this live stream is brought to you by Good Cook and their textured non-stick bakeware. I'm really excited. I've been partnering with Good Cook now for a few years, and it's my favorite bakeware. And I'm going to be showing you a variety of their different types of bakeware. I want you to stay tuned until the very end because we're actually doing a giveaway. I'm not going to tell you what we're giving away, but I want you to listen very closely throughout the live stream because I am going to be asking you a question in and around. I'll give you a little hint. Listen when I start talking about cookies because that's really important.
There we go.
We'll get there.
Bree's joined us again. Michelle from lovely Ontario.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Will I get stuck in, Kevin?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it.
So like I said, there is more than one way to skin a cat. There is more than one way to bake a brownie, for instance. So I'm going to start talking about glassware. Now, this is a really important piece. Let me show you this, Kevin. Here I have some glassware. I actually, used to be really popular. There's still a lot of pieces, I'm sure, in your kitchen cupboards right now that are glassware. Glassware is good for baking in. The thing about glassware is that it takes a while to heat up, but once it gets the heat, it retains it. So that's really important to factor in. So if you are baking something like a brownie, it's really, really great for baking a brownie because it gets the heat, it holds on to it, it'll make your outside cook, and then it will keep your inside gooey as long as you take it out in that time because Just with glassware, you have to factor in that once you take it out of the oven, the material actually will continue to cook whatever you have in there. So let me just show you. I did brownies because I wanted to show you why these are so good to bake brownies.
And Gemma, you just baked those this morning.
I just baked, these are still warm.
Oh my gosh.
Let me see. I don't know if I can take a slice
And
out.
these are your best ever?
This is, you know, this is actually my skillet brownie.
Oh, that's right.
And I didn't do it in a skillet. Same rules apply to a skillet. Let me see if I can show you this, Kevin. Let me see. I can't say I have a slice because, like Kevin said, it was just baked an hour ago.
That is gooey.
So gooey center and then firmer around the outside. So factor that in. When you're baking something in glass, maybe just take it out a few minutes earlier. I baked these brownies in around 20 minutes and normally they would take around 35 to 40 minutes. So there's something to remember.
Gemma, I'm having those for breakfast with ice cream.
Oh my God.
It's the breakfast of champions.
Delicious. Okay, it's not about brownies, it's about bakeware. That's delicious. So glass is really fantastic. Glass can go into the oven. It can go into the fridge, go into the microwave. Now, I do a lot of micro baking, as you know. Glass is a really great substitute if you don't have, like I use silicone in the microwave. If you don't have silicone, use glass. Really fantastic. I'm pretty sure I've got brownie in my teeth. Anyway, moving on. So that's glassware. Great option. Okay, let's talk next. We're going to talk stoneware. Now, stoneware, as you can see, is
Alan Reeder says, I need that brownie recipe.
It's skillet. It's my skillet brownies on my website, biggerbolderbaking.com. Now I've got pecans in my mouth. Sorry, I couldn't resist trying it. So now we're going to talk about stoneware. Stoneware is obviously beautiful. Stoneware is, first and foremost, it looks lovely. Stoneware is made to be taken from the oven straight to the table. So for instance, Thanksgiving, Christmas, any of your holiday celebrations, Hanukkah, take it from the oven straight to the table. You can do pies, casseroles. Generally, stoneware has is a nice deep dish. So you can do nice thick pies, do a nice thick casserole, anything like that. Stoneware is great because it is very resistant, resistant and resilient, I would say. This is a good cook. All the information about the products also can be found below. Kevin is going to post a link, and always go to biggerbolderbaking.com as well. Great for baking at high temperatures, and it has this kind of fired surface, so it's nice and shiny, so it's kind of somewhat non-stick. So this is really great. I do not line stoneware with parchment paper. I never ever do, and my stuff comes out just fine. So stoneware is fantastic. Lots, you know, you look around your kitchen, you already have a lot of stoneware. You probably didn't even know you had it. That is also great for the microwave oven. Be careful with stoneware, like I said, with the glass. Don't go from the oven, or did I mention that? Don't go from the oven to the freezer. I didn't mention that, excuse me. Oven to freezer, absolutely no way. It can crack. You don't want to have that shock of temperature will crack your glass, your stoneware, also ceramic, and that's what we're going to talk about right now.
You got some questions about that, Jim.
About so which?
Great one.
Yeah. Sorry, I was supposed to cover that. Really important. Just you don't ever want to do that with anything. Go from one extreme temperature to the other. That applies to so many things. Here I have ceramic. Now, ceramic and stoneware look very alike. Both beautiful. I think we can agree there. Ceramic, however, isn't as durable. It retains the heat pretty poorly it retains the heat pretty poorly. Not as good as stoneware. It also doesn't have as long of a life. It can chip easy. I don't know if you've seen ceramics, but it can kind of, what's the word? It can kind of crackle a little bit on the inside, whereas you can see my stoneware did not do that. It is best for baking on a lower temperature for a longer amount of time, where stoneware can go in at a higher temperature. So these two are similar. They are both have that lovely shiny fired finish. They are non-stick. They look lovely. The ceramic is not as good of a heat conductor, and it doesn't bake as a high temperature. So between these two, I would stick with stoneware.
Jim, I'm going to take a question real quick from Iman. Iman asks, do you bake stoneware, and can you make pies in it?
So absolutely make pies in it. You don't have to grease it. But I have this habit, and people ask me this a lot. I just have a habit of greasing stuff because it's extra insurance, because you don't want to put something into the oven and then to take it out and it doesn't come out. You don't have to grease it. And there's so much butter in a pie crust that it will come just right out.
That's terrific.
If you want to buy yourself extra insurance, grease that puppy.
Great. Jill says, good information for new cooks who are just starting out. Thank you, Jill.
Thanks, Jill.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I know I'm covering a lot. I understand that. But this is really important. This is just as important as I'm talking to you about baking techniques, about your skills, about different methods. This is equally as important, because once you know these few fundamentals, it'll make your life as a baker so much easier. Okay, Kevin, what will I talk about next? I will talk about cast iron. Cast iron, you don't always think of this as a material for baking in. This is heavy. So here I have cast iron. So this is a traditional cast iron pan that, I'm sure you're familiar with. Often you would use this for steaks, for frying, for getting a nice sear on something. I use this for baking. I do my skillets, my skillet brownie that I mentioned a few minutes ago. I do that in this. So this is very similar to the glass. So cast iron retains the heat unbelievably. So it's a great conductor of heat. Once that heat gets in there, it stays in there. So just like the glass, if you're baking brownies in there, and I've made this mistake, take them out a little bit early. Take them out 7 minutes early. Let it sit. The cast iron will continue to cook once it's out of the oven. So your brownies will continue to cook. So you want to kind of almost underdo whatever you have in there, so you're ensured a nice gooey center. Cast iron does cost a little bit extra, so it is a bit more of an investment, but it will last you a lifetime if you take care of it. Cast iron, it won't dent. It will be very hard for you to break this. And it, like I said, once it's taken care of, it lasts you a long time. So the investment up front is well worth it. The one thing about cast iron is that it has somewhat of a porous surface, which is great because lots of people who have these, I'm sure a lot of you out there don't really wash your cast. Absorbs flavors. So lots of people, they just wipe it. They do a very quick wash and it absorbs all the flavors of previous dishes, steaks, whatever you're cooking. One downside to this is if you don't take care of it, it can rust. One time, and I'm ashamed to admit this, but I did do it. I cooked something in it. I couldn't get it off. So I left it soaking overnight. And the next day I had a whole pile, my whole pan was covered in rust. So you just want to be careful about that. What I like to do is I wash it quickly, little bit of detergent, wash it quickly. Then what I do is stick it on the stovetop. I dry it out completely, then I store it away. And you can also cover it with a little bit of oil, a little bit of salt, just something to keep it seasoned.
Terrific. Yeah, Angel says it needs to be seasoned.
It needs to be seasoned.
We have a lot of cast iron fans out there, but I know it's finicky.
Fast cast iron is great. It is for baking. So don't forget that. Here we have another cast iron that a lot of you are familiar with, especially if you're a bread baker. And I know since quarantine, a lot of us now are new bread bakers and we didn't even know it. This is enameled cast iron. Now, gorgeous. Who doesn't love enameled cast iron? I know that's going to be on a lot of people's Christmas list this year. So enameled cast iron, just like cast iron, has all of the pros. It retains heat really, really well. Once it's great for bread baking because once the heat is in there, it gives your bread a lovely oven spring, and that's why we love to bake bread in it. It makes it lovely golden brown. It's a great conductor, so when it grabs a hold of the heat, it keeps it in there, and it's perfect for bread baking. I would say when it comes to cast iron, there is just one thing. With either cast iron, just be very careful that you buy lead-free. That's very important. Great. So like for sweet and savory, cast iron, either or, fantastic to have as a piece in your kitchen.
Jim, for folks just joining us, maybe a quick kind of what you've been up to and what you could rewind to and look forward to here.
Okay, well, so we are talking about bakeware today, and we are talking about all different materials of bakeware. It's great to know so you can become improve on your baking skills, become a better baker. Also, we are heading into the holiday season. It is the season of giving, and we want to, if you need a new bakeware set, this is what we're talking about right now. So Kevin, let me see what we're going to talk about next.
Okay.
How about, here, we'll talk about aluminized steel.
Yeah.
Excuse me, my nose is itchy. Aluminized steel. So this is one of the best materials to bake in, just all around. Aluminum steel, when paired together, it is fantastic for baking. Extremely durable. I'll hold one up. Extremely durable. Lasts a very long time. It is rust resistant. It also is resistant to buckling, which is really important because I'm sure a lot of our bakers out there have taken stuff out of the oven and the pan has twisted on them. This set won't do this. This is actually one of my favorite sets. This is Good Cook's set. This is texturized non-stick bakeware. It's really fantastic. I'm going to put a link below of where you can buy this. Also, the information can be found on my website. It is my favorite to bake with. It is very inexpensive material, which is really important because it is an investment to buy these new sets. This particular metal, you can see how it bakes beautifully. I baked this cake in here, Kevin. And as you can see, it is lovely and even color all the way around. It's gorgeous. And watch this. Check this out, Kevin. You're not going to believe this.
Hold on.
Look at this. I didn't line the pan.
Hold on, wait, that's a rarity for you.
Yeah. I didn't line it. I know. I just said I always do line it. So this is Good Cook's texturized non-stick bakeware. You don't have to line it. I believe in this product, and I was right because look at that. I didn't line it and it's popped right out.
So Jen, just a reminder too that again, there's no concern about the word aluminum here.
No.
It's the steel.
Aluminized steel. This is
That's
aluminized
right.
steel.
Exactly.
I took another piece out of this set because I just wanted to show you how this material bakes beautifully. So here I have my Anzac cookies. Now these cookies are from my book. Check those out. Those are delicious. We ate some of those last night. There was 14 and now there's 12. So this is the same set. This is Good Cook's texturized Good Cook's texturized non-stick bakeware. And this is fantastic for baking cookies, like as you can see, baking cakes, for all your baking. This comes in a set of 6. So, and I'll put all that information in a link below. So with this set, you pretty much have everything that you need. And I covered that last week.
And gentlemen, it's the textured part of it that makes things come right off. So
the
like
texturized
cookies,
part, yeah. So the texturized part makes stuff come right off.
Part.
The material is great for conducting heat, for baking evenly, and the texturized is for getting stuff out of there. Textures, textures, yeah. Next, Kevin, let's talk about stainless steel. Stainless steel. So we use this a lot in professional kitchens when I was a chef for many, many years. This is a really fantastic piece of equipment because it doesn't rust. It's very durable. If you think about working in kitchens, we have to wash our pans constantly on a daily basis. So it really needs to be durable. This is really durable, doesn't rust. It's inexpensive, and this will last you a lifetime. It'll last you an absolute lifetime. It can ding and it can dent, but it is a great, great option. I also want to mention, actually, Kevin, did I mention that overall, for everything we've talked about so far, that the Good Cook textured non-stick bakeware is actually the best price for this type of material at this price point. It's really great. And if you go to click the link, go to Amazon, you'll see that there's 25% off this set right now.
Yeah, the link's right here, right? And I think the team's going to put it in the chat as well. Yeah. Jen, one quick one is, should you put aluminized steel in the microwave?
No. Do not put aluminized steel in the microwave.
Okay, move on.
No, thank you. Let's talk about, here we go. Non-stick coated steel. Now, a lot of you probably recognize this. I know I do. I have a huge ton of this in my kitchen. This is probably the most common bakeware in the country. It is great value for money. It does the job. It's really good. It's non-stick, and they sell it in all different types of pieces. This is also a good cook, and it's really great for everyday baking. So this is a really, really great option. It's very popular. The one thing about this is that you have to be careful when you have any kind of a special coating, and this goes to all of the materials that have a special coating, especially when it comes to metal. Do not use knives, anything sharp, forks, anything in this, because once you scratch this surface and you damage it, it just opens up the material, and you kind of have to get rid of it. You have to send it,
Bakeware graveyard.
I was going to say send it to a farm in the country, but bakeware graveyard, and replace it, because that's really important that you don't damage the surface.
And Jen, for Thanksgiving, for folks in the States, that's their pie pan. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's their pie pan ready to go.
9-inch pie pan, and all that information is on our website.
So Jonathan, yes, that's great for pie.
Yeah. So here we have silicone. Now, for those of you who know a lot about bigger bolder baking, you know that I do a lot of micro baking. Silicone is great. As you can see, this little cake here, I made this in the microwave this morning. Silicone is fantastic. Check this out. Boop, boop. It's going to come right out. I just want to... There we go. Comes right out. So this is great for oven, for microwave, for freezer, for fridge, wherever you want to put it. It's a really fun baking material. It's eco-friendly. It doesn't leave any kind of a smell or flavor to your baked goods. The one thing you have to be careful about this is that don't use sharp knives or anything, because once you damage this, it's kind of done. It kind of applies to a lot of our bakeware. Just be careful with what utensils you use in it. That's really important. So this is a lovely one for making my microwave cakes. We've made microwave brownies, microwave lots of different things. So this is really great one to have, and really durable. That does last a long time, as long as you don't put a knife or anything in it.
Jim, I want to remind people that there is a giveaway.
There is a giveaway.
Stay tuned, and you gave them a hint.
Yeah, around the cookies.
The cookies, right?
I gave them a hint around these Anzac cookies.
Yes.
So these cookies are from. It's very hard not to buy one.
Well, and I must tell you, Jessica Hayward has joined us, who was a winner last week.
Oh,
Jessica, don't spoil what you won. But you can at the end.
Yeah, Jessica won last week. See, you've got to be in it to win it.
She already got her gift.
Did she?
Yeah.
Great. So my question, you might have to skip back a little bit, but my question is about the Good Cook textured non-stick bakeware. And, I guess I'm going to give that away.
Oh, you keep going.
I was going to give that away.
What else are you going to tell folks about?
Okay, let's move on.
Okay.
Uncoated aluminum. Now, come here to me. This is very important. This used to be very popular in professional kitchens. I used to see this a lot over the years as working as a professional chef. This is not the best option. Don't ask me why I have a piece of it in my kitchen, but I do. This is not the best option. You want to be very careful with this. It can leave a metallic-y taste in your food. It can also, with this material, it can also if you are mixing, say for instance, if you have a pot in this material, and if you're mixing, you can actually get a kind of a gray color on your food. It also is not the best for your health. This is not the best. So this is not the best for you to bake with. If you're going to bake with it, make sure you line it with parchment, and do not use a whisk, do not use a sharp knife, not use anything like that. Use spatula, use something rubber, something silicone, whatever it is. This is not the best for you. If you have pots and pans in your kitchen that are uncoated aluminum, I strongly recommend that you upgrade. They're in professional kitchens now, like when I started, gosh, I don't know, was it early 2000s in kitchens? This was, especially in Ireland, this was quite common. It's a cheap material. You won't see it anymore. So if it's in your kitchen, maybe it's time to upgrade.
Bakeware graveyard.
Bakeware graveyard. Bakeware graveyard. Okay, Kevin. So let's talk about Insulated Bakeware. That's a good band name. Insulated. This brownie is looking at me. Can you see it?
I'm telling you, breakfast.
I haven't had breakfast yet. Insulated Bakeware. Big fan of this. I love it.
Tara Kingsmore says, "Now I feel like baking." That's exactly what.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Hoping for.
Yeah, exactly.
Go for it, Tara. Right after the show.
Yeah, not right now, but after. As you can see, this pan has been well loved. I tried to get it nice and clean for the show, but I couldn't because this has been used a lot. I love insulated bakeware. It is great if you are trying to keep a very light, even color on your baking. So for instance, if you are doing like a shortbread cookie, you want those to be baked just right, lightly golden brown, not overdone. This is fantastic for that. The insulated walls protect your baked goods. So it just, the heat doesn't penetrate it in the same way. It still penetrates it really well, but it just doesn't penetrate it in the same way. So this is like added protection. This is insurance for your baked goods. So as you can see, nice thick walls, that's where the insulation is. I love this. And I also have cookie sheets in this material and fantastic for baking cookies. Kevin, so did I cover everything? I think I covered everything.
I think so.
So we talked about all different types of bakeware. It's as important when I talk about ingredients and using good quality ingredients, it's as important to use good quality equipment. So just factor that in. You know, sometimes if I get messages of why did my cake burn and things like that, if a cake or something like that burns, a cookie burns, that's quite unusual. That's not common, and that generally is either down to your oven or to your bakeware. That is not the recipe. So just keep that in mind when you email me next. So we talked about glass, we talked about stoneware, ceramics, cast iron. Like I mentioned, so the textured non-stick bakeware from Good Cook is my favorite. This is a fantastic set. It's a 6-piece set. You have, there is a 25% discount on Amazon right now. And Kevin has the link below in the comments, and I think above as well. Great. If I were you, so there's only so many sets on Amazon. So if I were you, I would get it into your cart right now. And it is great for the baker in your life. If you are looking to replace your set, it literally has every piece that you need. Last week, I talked about the 6 pieces that you need to bake pretty much all of my recipes, and this set has it. So just remember that. Also, there was a giveaway in this live stream. Do not, you have to be in it. Was Jessica who won last week, Kevin?
Jessica won last week.
Jessica won last week.
What's the question for this week?
So the question was say it again. I think I gave away the answer earlier.
Well, you didn't ask the question.
Oh, I did ask, okay. What bakeware did I bake my Anzac cookies on? I said it a few times.
So go ahead and get that.
It is my favorite bakeware.
Comments.
So if you can give us the full title, it is that'd be great. And you could win a nice surprise like Jessica did last week.
Okay, folks are getting things in. Also, if you have any other questions for Gemma here leading into the holidays, leading into...
Well, so Kevin, let's... so we're coming into the holidays right now. We are busy working around the clock for baking season. We're coming into Thanksgiving this Thursday, which is very exciting. Thanksgiving looks a little bit different this year for a lot of people. Also for Kevin and I, it does. We're not going to go see family. We just think it's safest. So we are going to have Thanksgiving with Kevin, George, and myself, and waffles. And it'll still be really fun. You know, I know that it's very different out there this year, but go to my website. I have lots of different options for desserts that might be a little bit smaller if you're doing smaller gatherings. I have a great recipe that I did for individual petite pumpkin pies. And if you are making dessert and maybe dropping dessert off to friends and family this year, these are great little individual pumpkin pies you can leave on people's doorsteps. A nice little something sweet for them to have for Thanksgiving.
That's great, Jim. And maybe you can tell them a little bit about what you're planning to make for Thanksgiving.
For dessert?
Yeah.
Oh, well, for a Thanksgiving, so Kevin, so we're not going to buy turkey. Are we talking about our turkey? Well, I'll say for our turkey, we're having comfy turkey legs, which I am very excited about. So it's sad we're not going to see Kevin's family. Very excited about comfy turkey legs.
And we're still figuring out our dessert.
So we're still figuring out our dessert. Kevin, of course, I was trying to make as little work for myself as possible. Kevin wants kind of turnovers. Like Kevin wants little individual pies, but he wants apple, pumpkin, and what was the other one, Kevin?
Maple pecan.
Maple pecan. So if Kevin wants 3 different types of pies, and I wanted, on my website, I've got the chocolate pear and chocolate crisp that I made a few weeks ago. That's on my website. You have to check it out. Absolutely delicious.
So Gemma, we got a lot of entrants in this. Thanks for everybody. We got a lot of right answers.
Great.
Well. Let everybody know what the right answer was.
Okay, so the question was, what tray did I bake? What tray did I bake my Anzac cookies on? And this is Good Cook Textures Nonstick Bakeware. And
we have 2 winners.
And 2 winners.
We have Nicole Young from YouTube and Sarah Terwilliger.
Sarah, I'm so sorry. Usually great with names. Terwilliger.
Terwilliger.
You're going to have to correct me on that one. Sorry, Sarah. What you want to do is email us at info@biggerbolderbaking.com. Just Nicole Young and Sarah T. And we'll let you know. Gemma, what did they win?
You won a bakeware set. So you won the bakeware set that I absolutely love. I'm really happy for you guys. It's the Good Cook Textured Nonstick Bakeware. 6 pieces, perfect for all your baking needs this holiday season. Let me show you. This is what you won. This, without the cake. So 6 pieces, really gorgeous set. If you didn't win, we're going to be doing another live stream, Kevin. So make sure you keep an eye on our live streams.
So, Jem, if you could just repeat for everybody, I think my sound is a little funky. Nicole Young.
Nicole Young is one of the winners from YouTube.
Sarah
Terwilliger. Sarah Terwilliger from Facebook, Kevin?
Yes.
Nicole Young, yes. Sarah Terwilliger. You both won Good Cook Texturized Nonstick Bakeware sets. So, I hope you enjoy it. It's one of my absolute favorites. Kevin, are we going to say we're going to go? So thank you everybody for tuning in. I hope you found this useful. It is really important to know as much about your bakeware as it is about your recipes, ingredients, and things like that. So, so watch back to the very start of this live stream if you want to just catch up on everything. And I'll see you again here back. We'll be back really soon, Kevin, right?
Next bakeware live stream in 2 weeks.
Oh, in 2 weeks.
But stay tuned for a very special live stream on Tuesday as well.
We have a special live stream on Tuesday. Stay tuned for that. That's a really important one, and as well. And then we'll see you then. Okay, thank you. Bye. Thanks, everyone.